What I'm saying is, we have been preparing for this all the time. The other thing is, it's our day, therefore we may have to skip one thing. Well, we'll skip it on one way and we'll do it another. Here's what I mean. For all of these futuristic writers, for the next scenes of whatever they call it, that movie, Wakanda Land or something, we have the script for them. We have the script for them, the process of how they mobilize their resources to help all the people, not only the black people, that's on the second sequel. On the third sequel, we're going to flip to Oxnard. I don't know if you ever know that. It's what Latinos in California call, you've heard of the Mayas and you've heard of the Aztecs. In a Marine song, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Mexico City, when Cortez came, it was 500,000 people there. Floating gardens, they was big. They just didn't have two things. They didn't have the wheel, and they didn't have gunpowder. And they had a myth about some great light-skinned people gonna come and they're gonna be godly like. And here come these crackers, Spanish. They're lighter than, oh my goodness, riding horses. At first they didn't know whether the horses one would, and then they got off the horse. So these are super gods. They can separate from the great thing. Anyway, you hear about the Indians getting killed a lot here. Within a short time, a few years, they knocked over 20 million Indians. And remember, I have pictures of the Great Pyramids in Mexico. That wasn't nothing. If you go to Lima, Peru, there's a tomb of Pizarro, Francisco Pizarro, probably in history. Pizarro was ruling things down in South America. And the Incas, guess what they used for trinkets? Gold. Some of the ancient writings ask, what do they do with this? Because the Spanish went crazy. The whole Inca Empire, if you go in the churches down there in Cusco, you see the Spanish horses with the conquistadors stomping on the heads of the bodies of, and the people are looking in amaze. They were amazed. These people come with gunpowder and stuff like that, and they destroyed whole civilizations. They just destroyed them. In fact, they have ships that sank in the harbor in Lima. They had so much gold on them. Just keep loading on the ship, just sink. There's too much gold. Because the Incas, it was the Incas. They just used it. Forget about that technology and brain surgery. They was far in advance of anybody in the world. Why? Because they left the tools. They left all the stuff. And remember I was telling you about what's that guy, the Lincoln lawyer, and
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, he was talking about his trip down there. He's the only white boy that I ever heard said, and when I was in Peru, I went to the city of Machu Picchu, and he wasn't really deep into what it really meant, because he's just a white guy. But we understood what it meant. The point I'm making is, we have studied, this stuff is 18 years old, some of it 20 years old. We have been thinking about this period of time. I mentioned the other day that it's very possible. It could be a flash in the pan, or it could be the reverse superfly syndrome. Remember how superfly knocked, the people think we're lying. You know, we say one day people are dressed like revolutionaries and talk revolutionary talk, and a month later, it's like it never was no real. 1 month, niggas is wearing Lord Jesus's, and everybody want to be superfly. This could be the reverse. Well, you can see something going on. All these black writers, futuristic writers, nobody ever heard of. Afro-Futurism. They've been there all the time. They've been dreaming, they've been visualizing. But they didn't have no experience of how you could really do some of these things. Okay, we've done it. First of all, by being here challenging the system and surviving, we gain the experience that it can be done. You can do it. Not only we gain the experience, but we brought along the ingredient that it takes to do it correctly. It's called love. Nobody's going to get to that point and still except Jesus Christ or somebody. It's going to go through with the white man, tussle with him 4 or 5 rounds, 9 or 10 rounds, 15 rounder, and still want to be in the corner and not kill him or shoot him or poison him. Nobody would but us, because it's our time. Remember, they talking this Afro-Futurism, re-Africanization of Islamic movement in North America, all that, we already got it lined up. In other words, we are prepared for this right now. Now, what does that leave us? I'm going to kind of jump to the point. So, we got 2 ways to do it. Okay, number one, when I go back to Oakland, and I've been waiting for this, that's why I've been here, you know. That's why we're not on no schedule, we're on our schedule. Till the right time. You know when you know the right time is? Something tell you it's the right time. So we're going to do basically the same thing, but we're going back to Oakland. And our main focus will be what it would take to get the job done. The first thing is you'd have to prepare the people. What's that? Media. Right? You have to educate the people. And now the only way you can get to them really quickly is the internet and all of this book, that book, and da-da-da-da-da. But it mainly, meaning media. The people have, a certain amount of people have to be taught and trained on this next stage. How to dream, how to believe, how to functionalize that. See, everything we do is functional. We ain't talking about we want to escape to the sun or to the doggone stars to have Afrocentric land. That's what all the writers, none of them practical, because they never fight. See, if you fight the monster, you get all the experience. Nobody else, even our friends from the struggle, they don't have no experience. Why? Because they stopped fighting 30, 40, they stopped fighting. And they start making a few speeches here and there, and that's it. Talking about what? 50 years ago. That's how good brothers do that. Other people that are in Africa, my friends, they stayed, and they stayed there. They stayed there. No, who wants, well, actually, who would want to come here and do anything after you'd been outside of this? Man, you know what my partner Pete O'Neill told me? He actually took charge of the party when Eldridge stepped down. He took charge of the Black Panther Party over there in '72. But When I first met him, he was in security. He was the head of security. So what he did, he took my picture and everything. I say, I'm Big Hank from Oakland and all of that. And da, da, da. So he took my picture, made a folder, you know, like he's supposed to, the head of security. And then he, since they was from Kansas City, he checked with the brothers in Oakland. So a few days later, he told me, well, the message came back that you're a legend in your hometown. I said, that's right, I'm Big Hank. I'm from Oakland. I said, that's fine. Nobody else, that's me. I'm the mayor, technically, the liberated mayor. So, years ago, when we was in Tanzania, I came back and everybody left Algeria. He showed me one of the pictures of it. He said, look at that, boy, your face was all scrunched up. And look at you now. I said, that's right. When I left the white man's house, I was mad. Like all the rest of y'all, I bet you look at all y'all pictures, you all just mad at that white man. I said, man, I've been away from the white man, this is now over 2 years. And that's why I'm young and healthy, got muscles, hey man, and happy. I said, everybody being away, you know, in those days, the white man was a problem. Not that he's not a problem now. But can you imagine how good that felt? And he said, man, look at you. He showed me that picture, he probably still got it. You know, I was mean, I was mad being over here with the white man. So would anybody else. But we have evolved. Remember, a new land takes new people. You can't build a new future with the same old mentality. That's why I was reading from Mr. Locke and all that, the new Negro. For his time, he was saying we need a new Negro that deals with the psychological self-image, how you feel about yourself. To hell with the white man and what he think about you. That ain't important. He got a lot of the faults, but that's sufficient. That part is good. And remember, when we look historically, we're not looking for the perfect package. For our time, we have to put that package together. For this time, it's media. So it goes two ways. When we go back to California, we're going to get started on our legal stuff. We're going to sue them for $50 million. If they don't act like they're on a speeded up, accelerated schedule, I'm just going to put everything off. I see in 3 months, I'm headed for the world. We're going to raise that money because we're going to develop our own media. If we don't get the money from them right away, we already got the story and the public relations. It's not going to be a mean public relations, but we're going to tell the world what we've done here. We're going to tell the world what we've done. And that this qualifies us to go the rest of the way, and we want you to help us. Now, our own industry starts like this. On theirs, if we get to the black writers and all those people and the black movie makers, have y'all seen any of the recent gangster movies made by Yoruba Productions and all of that? There's a lot of, the theme is the same. It ain't no good for you. They have the blacks killing each other, but they never were successful at it. So these are conscious black people that are making these. I meant to bring some of them. I've been looking at them recently. We don't have to get Wakandites, all that. We get to our people and give them, what's the end of it? See, they all say the same thing. The drugs, the build a family, you know, all we're doing is killing each other. They all say the same thing. So they're conscious black people. But nobody knows where to go. It's too big for them. You see what I mean? Nobody knows that. They don't have no intention of a As-Sabiqun liberation movement, As-Sabiqun liberation organization. Use the if they knew where to go, they could show the people the problem and then show them what to do. They are like the old movement, like Jesse and them. They can tell you the problem in detail, but they never tell you where to go or what to do. We got what to do. Just number one, simple number one. The Masjid in the churches. Get started with that. We can write the script for them. Because we have went not only to first base, we went through, for this generation, we are well underway. When we talk about star tracking, that means going beyond anybody has ever gone before. We've already gone and proved it. The futuristic writers are talking about bullcrap. Because they don't have no, it's not bad. They can't visualize what does it take to get over there to Happy Land. They've never been confronted. So if you look at the movie they just put, they have a spaceship land in Oakland and he called it the outreach, first outreach thing. I mean, they don't know what to do. We can give them the script. We can give them the script. First of all, they in Africa, they got some mumbo-jumbo stuff, bring Killmonger back because it's a comic book. Sometimes the hero get killed all the time. They bring him back, you know, and he was just the African days. He had the African called Lazy Days, Ukumunga. Then we slip a little Islam in on the Jabari tribe. The Jabaris are strong, tough guys. What do the Quran say about the people in the Promised Land? The Jabari. We're just gonna slip in Islam, but we ain't gonna, they ain't gonna be just, you know what I mean, and all that stuff. No, we got it covered. We got the script for them, but they just haven't had no trial and error. So we can, and if they don't do it, they say, we're not messing with y'all, this is crazy. That's fine. Within a year or so, we'll do our own media. We'll start with plays instead of movies. Because plays is dialogue, right? And we'll make as many as we want. And then we'll put them on video and distribute them for 50 cents a piece, free. Don't make no difference. We'll get them addicted after a couple of years and we'll charge them $1. But by then we'll have good action-packed films. But see, just imagine, you can make plays very cheaply. And I remember that. Y'all probably never remember the biggest play of 1970, No Place to Be Somebody. Y'all heard of that one? Can you type up that in the just 1970 or 1970. No Place to Be Somebody. It's a play. Well, I'll tell you what it was. This is the biggest play. It won every prize it could. It was a great play. It was on Broadway, and I saw it in San Francisco. It's called Off-Broadway. I saw it, man, I went and got my friends, and that's what the place was about. It was about America.
Yep. 1969 play written by American playwright Charles Gordon.
Does it say anything else?
Yeah, it was during his employment as a bartender in Greenwich Village that Gordon found inspiration for his first major work, No Place to Be Somebody, for which he received the 1970 Pulitzer for drama.
That's right.
Yeah, signifies he was the first African-American playwright to receive a Pulitzer, and No Place to Be was the first off-Broadway play to receive the award.
Right.
Written over the course of 7 years, the play explores racial tensions in the civil rights era story about a black bartender who tries to outsmart a white mobster syndicate.
Right. But the idea was just what it says, no place to be somebody. America. For a black man at that time, there's no place, because everybody just said, you are what? Somebody. Everybody is somebody. And we saying America, you see how quick I left, I said, I don't want to be no, I'm already Big Hank, the richest nigga in town, and got Cadillacs and friends all over the country. Who the hell want to be here? This is no place to be somebody. I took a few gangsters to see it, I did, because it was a great play. And one thing it left in my mind is we can start with plays for media. Because plays is dialogue, it's education, will improve. So whatever they do, F them. If the Negroes want to be down with us and friendly and kind of help us give them an outline, a sketch, you know what I mean, a little history, that's what we'd have to do, is educate them on what they could do. So that means the next sequel could be focused on black people, how to get them involved, how to get them involved, the people involved. Because if you give them, look at our friend, that's a great basketball player. He gave all his friends, and almost gave him a place. Did. But if the people don't work for it, they don't appreciate it. It's the same with the stuff we acquire. Most people look at me like, oh, the white man did that to you. He did it to you. That's what they did Imam Jamil, right? So when the people work for it themselves, so you have to have the patience to educate the people and to get them to work for their own future. So they have a stake in their own future. If you would have provided for them, if you provide the Negro with weapons from Wakanda, they in trouble. The Negroes, you give the weapons to just push a button and finish off to vaporize the white man, it's all over. There's no good future in it. We know it's fantasy, but so we have to use this attention that the world is given. You know, this is a second win for black people. You gotta remember, we wrote ourselves out of our own history. We're going back 50 years since anything happened. 50 years back. And when we go into the future, it's fantasy. That's pitiful. That means some people haven't been doing their job. They did. They knocked everybody but us. The white man knocked and scared and paralyzed everybody but As-Sabiqun. That don't mean they bad. They good people, but what the hell they gonna do? Imam Jamil is in prison, and ain't nobody gonna help him get out. If we get big, soon as possible,